All right, we're back, guys. Glad to have y'all in. Let's try it again. Let's try this thing again. All right. Hop on in, everybody. I am back. Glad to have y'all back. I'm back. Uh, I had to take a phone call from my real estate and insurance people. It's a lot that goes into getting commercial buildings. It's a lot of stuff. You got to do a lot of inspections and insurance, and the names have to be verified with the corporation, and it's a plethora of just nonstop paperwork, nonstop. But that's what it is. We're making it happen. We're making it do what it do. Anyway, I don't want to bore y'all with little technical stuff like that. So what I was saying earlier, I was talking about people abandoning the Trump train. As we see with Donald Trump, there's some stuff going on where they are, basically throwing him under the bus in the media, whatever. They raided Mar-a-Lago, and they had some images the FBI put out of some classified documents that he had stored in a box. So they're really, throwing dirt on him. And a lot of people on the left are like, yeah, he should go to jail. And they were talking crap about Hillary, whoop de whoop. And you have a lot of the prominent right wingers like Ann Coulter. She's, abandoned the Trump train. She's like, yeah, the Republicans need to leave Trump alone. Suspected white supremacist Ben Shapiro, he's dumping on Trump now, and he was a Trump supporter. A lot of these prominent right wingers are, kind of jumping off the Trump train because now the word has come from the top. They kind of want to get Trump out of the game. The top brass right wingers, they want to get Trump out of there. And this whole thing about him getting arrested, they're not going to arrest Trump. Let's be clear. They're not going to arrest Trump. That's all cap. Basically, they want to sully his image enough so that, when he runs or if he decides to run, he's going to be so tarnished that he won't have a chance in hell. But we don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? You have a lot of those fanatics that still follow Trump. So who knows what's going to happen? But it's just interesting to see how those in the dominant society, especially the suspected white supremacists, how fast they'll turn on each other. See, this is a lesson that you need to learn. These folks will turn on each other. There's no honor among thieves, man. These suspected white supremacists, when the time comes, they will throw each other under the bus. Just like that Ahmaud Arbery case. You remember when that whole thing popped off? When it popped off, there were a bunch of people out there in Georgia who had copies of the lynching video. These perverted white supremacists were secretly sharing the video of Ahmaud Arbery being lynched. They were sharing that thing with them among each other. They all knew about it, but they were all on code being quiet about it. When we started making noise about it, because it started with us on the grassroots, we started making noise about Ahmaud Arbery being lynched, and we started digging into the paperwork and finding out these prosecutors and these DAs and all of these people connected, and we start putting everybody's names out. Then they started throwing each other under the bus. That lawyer came out and was like, "Hey, I got a tape. Here's the video that I happened to stumble up upon. I'm just releasing that now. I got to expose this video." So he cleared his own name by throwing everybody under the bus by releasing that video. It was a white lawyer. Y'all remember that? He was like, "Hey, if y'all start digging around and my name come up, just remember I exposed the tape, so I'm good now. So leave me alone." So they started throwing folks under the bus, and that's how they got eventually prosecuted. And what's interesting, one of the killers of Ahmaud Arbery, he's up here copping pleas now. Story came out today is that he's afraid that he's gonna get killed in prison. Boo damn who. Now he's talking about how scared he is to go to prison. He thinks somebody's going to shank him. He thinks somebody's going to get at him. Well, damn it, that's what Ahmaud Arbery felt when you killed him. You see, if you don't kill people, you don't have to worry about getting shanked in prison. You see how that works? I know that dude ain't trying to get no damn sympathy. Give me a break. But yeah, these people are jumping off the Trump train. A lot of them are jumping off that Trump train. See, the suspected white supremacists, see, they do what works. They don't do symbolic stuff. That I can respect that to a certain degree. The white supremacists don't do all that symbolic nonsense. They do what works, what's practical, what's working for them at the moment. If something don't work for them at the moment, they'll abandon that shit quickly. Whatever don't work for them. And right now, the Trump thing, Trump being as, outrageous as he is, that ain't working for the Republicans right now. You know, that's causing too many investigations, with the January 6th thing and all these people, getting prosecuted and all of these investigations to people tied in with them. They're like, hey, this is sloppy. Or what's going on? Again, sorry guys. But yeah, what don't work for them, they will abandon it. We, on the other hand, we be doing all types of symbolic stuff that don't even work, and they still try to pander to us to do symbolic stuff that don't work. Well, y'all still need to vote now because our ancestors fought for the right to vote back in the 60s. Think about Edmund Pettus Bridge. The hell out of here. So we got to wise up from that. We got to wise up from stuff that don't work. See, we get caught up in sloganisms. You dig? We get caught up in sloganisms. They throw these slogans at us and we hold on to these slogans forever. Some slogans we need to just let go. You know, we hold on to these slogans: no justice, no peace, fight the power. And these are things that work back in the day, but we're not really exercising the the meaning behind the slogans now. That's why they're not working for us. We get into these symbolic things like black and brown. That's a slogan that doesn't work. You understand? The black and brown, that's a slogan too. That's an impractical slogan that doesn't even work for us. Did y'all hear Bank of America? They got something where they announced that they're going to give some type of zero down home loans for first time buyers, but they're going to give it to black and Latino first home buyers. You see, so anything we get, and I talked about this last night on my broadcast, anything we get, everybody else is supposed to damn get. You dig? Which ultimately turns around and bites us in the ass because that's going to bring in a plethora of other people to capitalize off of the deprivation that has been systematic to us. But you have Negroes that will fight you to hold on to that black brown stuff when it comes to our political issues where it doesn't work for us. Yeah. That's why we've been getting so much pushback for the documentary that we're going to start working on. There is a lot of pushback from some of these thirsty um, um, Latina chasing Negroes out here who are very upset that we're doing this documentary exposing the truth. This hip hop documentary, they're a lot of cats are upset about it. It's usually old, dusty, former crackhead niggas. You dig? Who was out here chasing Puerto Rican chicks in the 70s and 80s. They mad because we're about to tell the truth, and that's going to threaten to them their sexual access to Puerto Rican cooch. You dusty bastards. See, we got to get rid of this thing where people will throw away their legacy just for some sexual access. Because that's really what it's all about. That's what that's all about at the end of the day. These dudes want sexual access to Latinas. You think? Like, man, don't be saying that. There was some Puerto Ricans around back in the day. They were right there taking pictures. Like, shut up. We got to get some straightening going on. And that's what we're going to do. And we got a name for the documentary, too. I'll announce that pretty soon. But this thing is going to be phenomenal. Cannot wait for this to come on out because we got to really get some straightening as far as that because I'm tired of lies. I hate lies, especially when it comes to foundational Black American history. I do not like lies. And people start lying and piggybacking off what we created. And they wait. Again, they're doing this now because the coast is clear. Hold on one second. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. My real estate people are texting me. So now that the coast is clear, you see all these people jumping up, trying to act like all of these other cultures influenced us so much. They're doing this now. They knew not to do that back in the day because you had some of the real cats still around who would check that. They couldn't say that and go back on the block. Now that hip hop has really been gentrified in the neighborhoods that many of the culture comes from, that's been gentrified. So now people feel safe lying. You understand what I'm saying? Because the block has been gentrified. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, my real estate people asking me to send some more stuff. But yeah, everything has been gentrified. So now, if we look at history, for real, nobody was influencing us because all of these other groups going back to the 70s, they didn't have no swag, man. They didn't have no swag to influence us with. Let's keep it above. Where are my East Coast dudes? My dudes who grew up in New York, especially. Where anybody from the Bronx in here, raise your hand. If you grew up in the Bronx, some of you might not be old enough because I would talk to cats who would come out here from New York and they would tell me stuff about, some of the different cultures. And remember, a lot of dudes who are from all these other cultures, they would hide that shit. They didn't want people to know that they were Caribbean or whatever. They would hide it because you would get clowned for not having swag. Let's keep it a buck. Nobody was getting any swag or influence from these dudes. So all of this lying now, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that at all. We didn't. This whole thing, we were getting swag and getting influenced by Puerto Ricans. Puerto Rican was used as a pejorative term. I remember dudes back in the 80s and 90s coming to LA who were from New York, and they would use the term Puerto Rican as a way to clown you. They're like, "Hey man, what you got on, man? You dress like a Puerto Rican. You need to take that off, homie. Hey, what kind of Puerto Rican stuff you got on?" They would use that as a pejorative. That's them talking. It's not me. I'm just saying what they were saying. These dudes from the East Coast, they would use that as a pejorative. Even Jamaicans, you want to keep it a buck with Busta Rhymes running around here. Y'all got it all. Y'all got your swag from Jamaican niggas. Y'all got it from Jamaican nigga. They were clowning Jamaicans, from what I understand, in the Bronx in the 70s. Jamaicans were being clowned for not having swag. Nobody was trying to be like Jamaicans. Nobody was trying to have on a fishnet shirt with church shoes. Nobody was trying to dress like that, and they know it. Even Kool Herc was like, I had to change my swag. I was getting clowned. Herc said that. I was getting clowned. I was dressed like a hick. I had to be more Americanized because they were clowning me in school. Let's just tell the truth. There's nothing wrong with the truth, and there's nothing to be ashamed about. You don't have to rewrite history because you were ashamed you got clowned as a kid. You were ashamed because when you're a youth, you got clowned. And see, that's where a lot of that resentment and this trying to rewrite history, a lot of these folks got a real bug in their ass about getting clowned as kids. A lot of these kids who come from immigrant backgrounds, y'all got roasted like everybody does. I'm telling you, getting roasted is a part of foundational Black American culture. It's called the dozens. It came out of slavery over here. That was in a kind of a bonding thing. We'd roast each other and then we'd just shake hands at the end of the day. Y'all take roasting way personal, and then y'all carry that resentment into adulthood. Listen, all of us roasted each other. But y'all have this thing where you're supposed to be, in your mind, above being roasted. Foundational Black American kids, we snap on each other, rank on each other. We be at the lunchroom counter just going in. And after we rank on each other, talking about everybody's mama, clowning niggas' clothes, clowning niggas' hairstyles, clowning everything about you. At the end of the day after school, we all go play basketball together. We go hit the football field and play football together. We were best of friends. And then we clown each other. At the end of the day, we be best of friends. We go in on each other and then, hey man, let's go to the arcade and play Pac-Man. You dig? That's how we were. It wasn't personal. We just snapping it. Snapping kept everybody on top of their game. Everybody got snapped on. But the immigrant kids, because there's already some insecurity there from having to leave your homeland, when you get snapped on, but that shit hurts to the bone. You took it real personally. You go home, these niggas don't like me. These niggas said I was an ashy booty scratcher. And then you got grown ass folks running around here talking about they got called a booty scratcher in school. Nigga, shut up. Oh, I hate these Akatas because they call me a booty scratcher. Shut your ass up. You're a grown ass person talking about what somebody called you in school. And most likely they didn't even call you that. Yeah. Still talking about what you got called in school. You're a grown person running around here talking about Akata and doing all types of little slick shit and going at us because you got clowned and you thought you were above being clowned. You know what you went to school dressed like. You know your parents had you dressed like a damn Grambling University drum major in the 3rd grade, walking around in a suit with a tuxedo jacket and some spats on top of your shoes, looking like the fucking planter's peanut with a top hat. And you thought you weren't going to get clowned on the playground, nigga? You lucky I wasn't there. I was the king of roast. You would have really got toe up. So you're going to get clowned. That's going to happen, buddy. And it's not personal. Everybody's going to get clowned. But sometimes y'all gave people more material to clown you with. Yeah. It was not personal. It was all business. Let me get my brother Melrose in here. My brother Melrose is from NYC. He spits the real. What's up, brother Melrose? Melrose. Brother Melrose, where you at, sir?
Peace, Flex. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. How are you, brother?
All's well. Great to speak with
I can hear you.
Peace to everybody.
We good, man. How you doing, man? What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of pushback. It's hard up here as far as getting niggas on code with the codification. Niggas is the most conscious up here. You already know in New York. They're the most woke, they're the most knowledgeable. But when it comes to delineating from these thick ass Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, they're not willing to sacrifice that. We got
No, they're
this
not.
thing where we get secondhand offended and want to go into plantation protector mode, and we got this thing where we want to defend white people that hate us, Latinos that hate us.
Right.
So that's the pushback.
Real talk. Real talk.
You're gonna have up here old people.
Yeah, your phone is breaking up, Mel. But yeah, you made a very good point, man. That Puerto Rican cooch and them thick Latinas, those thick Dominicans, that's kryptonite to Negroes, man. Y'all need to get over that, man. Y'all should have been over that nonsense. But anyway, listen. I got to make some more phone calls. I got to get some more stuff done with my real estate thing. But I'm going to get back on live later. This is the middle of the day and my phone's just blowing up. But I'll check in with the family later. So y'all stay tuned. Holla.